What have you got for us?
For the past couple of years, the cartel has been
Wait.
Chopper, down, down.
Cartel Sicarios are engaging. Where the hell do they come from?
Avisamos que los refuerzos ya vienen en camino. Únanse a ellos y destruyan al enemigo.
Back, Bowman.
What happened? Wait, you know what? Never mind. For the past couple of years, the cartel has been experimenting with high-tech submarines as a way to smuggle powder into the U.S. Best we can tell, these subs follow one of the tributaries up to the Amazon, then into the Atlantic for a transit to the Florida coast.
Jesus, it's a couple thousand miles.
Exactly. The man running the program is called El Cerebro. We've got almost nothing on this guy. Rumor has it he's some kind of genius, a real mad scientist type. We know he's been ordering all kinds of military-grade electronics to upgrade his subs capabilities. We need a better picture of what's going on in Caimanes. Get me all the intel you can on their submarine ops, as well as El Cerebro and his research. If you get actionable intel on the cartel submarine fleet, take them out. Let's put some hurt on El Cerebro and see how he reacts. Maybe he'll make a mistake and we can grab him.
Sounds good. We're on it.
Most cartel members are violent idiots who are too high to care. But Patricio Mendez Valle, aka El Cerebro, is an oddball genius who's too fucking smart to bother. Nydia Flores spotted his intellect when he was just a kid. She sent him to college in Mexico and later grad school in California. Word is he was too strange and misanthropic for even that crowd. But he popped up on our radar. El Cerebro heads up the cartel's submersible program out of Caimanes. From Caimanes, his semi-submersibles, sometimes carrying as much as 10 tons of cocaine, head downriver to Brazil, then to the Atlantic. From there, floating just a few feet below the surface, they can go all the way to Mexico, even as far as Florida. But smuggling with these semi-submersibles will soon be a thing of the past. He and Nydia have ambitions to make reusable, fully submersible craft. Think what a multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise could do with a fleet of submarines. Smuggling would be just the start. If we're gonna take down these subs, we need El Cerebro and his jagged-ass brain intact and cooperative. Just remember, he's Nydia's pet project. She won't give him up easy.
Going on.
Here we go. This map's got locations for cartel subs anchored along the river. According to this, thanks. Open fire.
Shit, they're headed.
I'll drop.
There's an armored boat docked outside Santa Blanca's base at Caimanes. It's loaded with high-tech electronics for El Cerebro's research projects. We're gonna grab the boat and turn the cargo over to a CIA team for analysis.
Agárrense con paz porque los más chingones llegamos chingan. Y la verga nos ha de bailar.
Esto es Santa Blanca Radio.
For those Bolivians who do not know of me, my name is X-Ray. I am a member of El Cartel Santa Blanca, an organization that made your beautiful country its home near 6 years ago. Many of you are now employed by our organization, and your communities have benefited from our economic investment and from our charitable contributions. Yet, despite all...
Are we entering a new province?
Yeah, Villa Verde. Map shows one major road which leads to the city of Villa Verde. Other than that, looks like a lot of jungle.
Let's give Bowman a call. Bowman, we're crossing into the province Villa Verde.
Other than a lot of legal coca farms, there's a mine there owned by the cartel. The mine is the cartel's source for pyrolusite. It's used to make chemicals that purify the cocaine, make it nice and white or something.
I think we could screw up that step in production for you.
I don't have intel on who's running things in Villa Verde. Be careful. Gather intel on the Buchan before making any big moves. Bowman out.
There is no haven for criminals such as these. There is no sanctuary. We punish these criminals when the police will not. If you need justice, when the judges and politicians let you down, when you have no one else to turn to us.
Check your targets. We got civilians all over the place. I got a Sicario with a minigun.
Where you got him?
Near the container.
Listen
All
up.
right,
We steal the boat, we take it to the RP so Bowman's people can give it the once-over.
Sure they won't let us play with it first. I got one narco on the bridge.
Let's get out of here.
Where we dropping off the boat?
Bowman has an RP on the river. Some kind of old Cayman hunter shack. This ride ain't all bad.
Shit, give me a beer and I'll pretend we're back home off the coast of Myrtle Beach.
You still think you're 22 or something?
Nah, I'm just looking to hook up with 22-year-olds. I'm sure you are. Too bad none of them feel the same way. Going on.
¡Mierda! ¡Chingada madre! ¡Hay un putero de soldados vivos acá! ¡Pásenlo!
They know we're here. Target down. Rather than close.
let Bowman know she can have her crew pick up the boat.
After the agency's techs examine that prize, they ought to have a good feel for the rest of El Cerebro's designs. Chopper's approaching.
The small-minded will tell you that Santa is a typewriter.
The cartel has a flotilla of submarines they're using to smuggle coke into Florida. Find the subs and sink them.
Aversion to death has long been one of mankind's great taboos, and taboos are made to be broken. Why else do we culture ourselves and
Looks like they found the cartel's primary base in Caymanas. A lot of activity around that warehouse in the middle.
Could be big enough for El Cerebro to use as a research lab.
Maybe. Let's take a closer look.
And that representation.
Keep our heads down and see if we can get into the central warehouse undetected. I want to find out what else are rebels. Hold on.
Engaging tangos.
Come to us and learn more about her.
Made.
Come venerate her. Adorarla.
Let's keep our heads down and see if we can get into the central warehouse undetected. I want to find out what else Cerebro's working on. Let's move. This place is amazing.
Incan, yeah?
Think so. We'll take the tour after we take down Santa Blanca, though. Stay sharp. Sniper up in the tower.
Take cover!
I'm asking the rebels to draw their attention. Call Pakatari for some mortar fire.
Copy. Martyrs away.
Copy that, Yankee. Troops are moving into position.
I got a Cerebro brand sub. Eyes on those flanks. Let's take it up. Wait.
We're in a target core environment.
We've got a location on a warehouse where El Cerebro does most of his high-end design work. Sweep the building, grab any useful intel you can carry, and torch the rest.
It's on those flanks. Let's take it up fast. Hold up. I put a call to the rebels for a diversion. Open fire.
Roger that.
Gather some info Ricky Tick. See if we can't grab something that tells us what El Cerebro was working on.
got enemy activity nearby.
We've got the intel we need on El Cerebro's research. We took out his prototype. Project's foobarred for sure.
Hold up, we got hostile activity. Okay, we're cool.
The cartel has a flotilla of submarines they're using to smuggle coke into Florida. Find the subs and sink them.
Stop a while. Replenish our supplies.
You mean fish? Nah, you mean caiman. You know, those little alligators? They say they taste kind of like rabbit.
Nah, that ain't right. For gator tail, and tail's the best part. You need to really marinate the meat, otherwise you get a steak taste like a rubber chicken.
Too bad I left my dry rub in my other backpack.
Clear over here.
Frag out. Get some. Submarine destroyed. Let's clear the fuck out of here. Rally up, people.
Copy.
The cartel has a flotilla of submarines they're using to smuggle coke into Florida. Find the subs and sink them.
Target destroyed. Don't get slack with that security. All subs destroyed. Objective complete.
Only way Cerebro's gonna get that coke to Florida's with a fucking rowboat.
Good work in Caimanes. Taking out the cartel subs has cut shipments to Florida by more than a third.
And the gear we intercepted and that intel we found on El Cerebro's prototype?
First impressions are that El Cerebro is in the process of building a sub with serious legs. We're talking about a boat that could reach as far as Europe and do so completely undetected.
That ain't good.
You ready for the good news? We've got an ID on El Cerebro. The intel you brought in helped us connect the dots. I'll send you everything I've got in a minute.
Outstanding. We got a location on our mad scientist?
Negative. His OPSEC is damn good. Multiple safe houses. Never stops at the same place twice in a row, the whole nine. But he's got an assistant that does most of the grunt work. He spends enough time on his phone that we've been able to triangulate his location.
So we follow the assistant and see if he leads us to El Cerebro.
You got it. Stand by for the data.
I've got eyes on the assistant. Keep your distance and sure as shit keep him alive. We have to tail him to El Cerebro.
We're good. Hey, we got a narco with
Buckle
a
up,
submachine
people.
gun. Right by that stack of tires.
El Cerebro is in there, snatch and grab. We want him alive, got it?
Engaging tangos.
Roger.
Gotcha.
My apologies. I think you can see why I might allow myself to be excited, though. This is a disturbing development. Disturbing development.
Don't blame you at all.
I mean, you don't look like the sort who would work for Santa Blanca, which means you're likely with the American government, which implies I'm in for an extended disruption on my plans.
You'll adjust.
I don't have to adjust. I plotted all this out already. Weeks ago, in fact. Maybe months. I just need to activate contingency plan Alpha Set 984.
Which is?
Going along with whatever you fine people want me to do, of course. At least for now. It maximizes my chances of survival while I figure out which one of my escape plans might still be viable.
I think we're gonna get along just fine.
Media will come looking for me, you know? You know? She always keeps tabs on me, even when she thinks she's ignoring me. I really ought to go back, or she'll worry. I could fire myself out of the back hatch.
I prefer you didn't.
But I've almost cracked this. You know how cold it is underwater? The issue of chemical binding? Not an issue. It ought to be easy to find monoethanolamine in Bolivia, right? It's just an issue of scale. Can I call Nidia Flores? She's probably busy, but she won't mind. She knows me. We're close. What am I talking? Scrubbing? No. I mean, scrubbing needs 2 compartments. Wouldn't leave room for any people.
That so?
I want suspects for a Colombian submersible that just had a breathing tube sticking out of the surface of the water. Imagine the heat signature. It's probably best I...
We're at the rally point. I'll take him from here.
Thank you, baby Jesus. I'm sick of listening to this guy.
Now you know how we feel every time you open your mouth.
Fast, please!
Ma'am, Nidia will be looking for me.
Good, because we're looking for her.
They say you've got a good brain between those ears, camarada. Now that you're up Schitt's Creek without a submersible, you may have figured out that you need me to help you, and I will, once you help me.
Huh. Forgive me for asking, but what do you think this is? Compelling? Dramatic? The rocks here have been around for centuries, long before you were a gamete in your father's testicle, and they'll be around long after you've gone back to the dust. Do you understand? These rocks have more significance in the universe than you do. Than your high and your hypocritical war on rocks. Are you taking me to Nidia, or are we waiting for her?
Do you not understand that I will lock you up in prison, where tattooed neo-Nazis will use you as a human pincushion for their dicks?
The problem is that you still think that anything matters. Anal rape, cocaine, murder. It's all nonsense. Do you think the jaguars waste any concern on how they feel? Or that the rabbits they eat contemplate the name of God? Meanwhile, you're still lying to yourself, convincing yourself that you make a difference.
So nothing matters to you, El Cerebro.
El Cerebro? I am not El Cerebro. El Cerebro slipped through your fingers before you even knew he was there. He is quite simply gone, as though he never existed.
What do you mean we got the wrong guy?
Looks like El Cerebro planted most of the intel we followed. He led us on a wild goose chase while he bugged out.
Then who the fuck is Bowman talking to?
El Cerebro's top submersible designer. The sacrificial lamb, basically.
Nidia finally had the answer to her problems.
A convoy.
The investors in Mexico wanted their money. This whole time she had been trying to sneak it out to them.
Why sneak when we can force it through? Reinforced armor, heavily armed, multiple trucks, helicopter patrols, carrying $17 billion.
Mira, you can't be serious. If we lose that money, it's over. But when we're killed, what happens to Valeria?
There is no other way.
No, Reina, we're not doing it.
Ay, Boquita, corazón. I'm not asking. I'm telling.
And who do you expect to lead this convoy?
You're the only man I trust with something this important.
But what if I don't make it back?
I would never let that happen.
Damn, that's some next level supervillain shit right there.
Either way, we put the cartel submarine fleet out of business. Could take years to get that program running again.
And El Cerebro?
The trail's cold for now. Bowman will keep her ear to the ground in case he resurfaces, but we're moving on.
This is Bowman. I just got word from an informant that El Baquita's planning something big in Kuwani.
What do we know?
Nydia and El Baquita are desperate to get cash to Santa Blanca's investors in Mexico. They're putting together a convoy for a big shipment headed north. This is a Hail Mary. If they can't make this happen, El Sueño's not going to be pleased.
We got a location on this convoy?
My informant didn't say. Get with him and find out what he knows. I'm sending you coordinates for a meet.
Roger that. We're on it.
We've got intel on...